Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. Today I thought we'd just do a little sit down video as I'm trying to repurpose this old t-shirt that has a few stains on it, so I didn't really want to donate it to Vinny, so I thought why not do some painting on it instead. Now you might be able to tell by my voice, but I'm not really feeling too good and my voice is a little stuffy and it sounds a little weird, but I'm just gonna have to get through it. So I've already just popped a embroidery hoop around the base of the t-shirt and I thought we'll just have a chat, have a paint, and yeah, see how it goes. Alrighty, so I just mixed up my colors just here. Now to be honest, I've never painted on fabric before, so all I did was just add Mod Podge to the paint. I don't know what I think that's gonna do, but I thought maybe we'd just stop the paint from being as like brittle or something, but to be honest, who knows? You can just buy the paint mediums for fabric, but I don't have the time to do that right now. To be honest, I don't even really know what I want to paint on it. I'm just kind of thinking maybe I'll paint something like lemons or something like that. And I'm just gonna try and sketch it out. So I thought as I was painting today, I would just tell you guys some funny yet highly embarrassing childhood stories about me, just so you can really get a scope of what a weird ass child I was, or just the dumbest stuff that I would do. Alrighty, so this is what I'm working with so far. Probably gonna start off with the leaves because I feel like those might be easier to do. Alright, so one of my favorite stories to tell people is this whack ass story I have about this one time I jumped off my retaining wall. So basically what happened is that like me, my sister and my cousins would always jump off this like retaining wall that we had. And so I decided that it'd be a good idea to put my tricycle at the bottom of it. And in my head, basically what was gonna happen is that I was gonna jump off the retaining wall onto my tricycle and just ride away, and it was gonna just be sick. Yeah, obviously that's not what happened at all. So I jumped off the retaining wall straight onto my tricycle and just like jammed like the tricycle seat like into my crotch basically, and just immediately fell over to the side on my tricycle, and I couldn't even go to the toilet afterwards because I was in that much pain. Like, why would I even think that was a good idea? First of all, even if it did work, it wouldn't have been that cool. Let's just keep in mind, I was the younger sibling of all the cousins, so yeah, basically I was the one that had to do all the dumb stuff. So like when we were playing Harry Potter like pretend games, I was playing Ron's other sister, not Ginny's. That just gives you a scope of how low down I was in like the hierarchy of cousins. So yeah, I sat down on a skateboard, went down the hella steep hill. I end up getting the death wobbles and just violently moved from one side of the road to the other. My sister's just having a good laugh at it, you know, as sisters do. And next thing you know, I crash into the gutter and just like graze up the whole side of my body. Like what? Again, in these circumstances, I think what would have happened if it did work out? Like, yeah, I would have reached the end of the hill and be like, that was fun. Let's go home now. And instead I had to go, that was awful. Bloody just grazed all up the side of my body and now I'm covered in blood. And also had to pretend like I wasn't hurt because my mum specifically said don't take the skateboard with you, and every time your mum says don't do it, you always end up hurting yourself, and that's what goddamn happened. So I just messed myself up, grazed all up the side of my arm. It was all for a good laugh, and by a good laugh I mean my sister's good laugh, because she didn't realize I'd hurt myself and she just came running down the hill laughing at me because she thought I was just having a good chuckle at it as well, like I was having a splendid time. No, not quite. Bloody hell, does this look awful? You know what, in the camera it doesn't look too bad. In real life, yeesh, looks rough. This story I feel like everyone from my goddamn year group knew about, because it happened on the first day of year 7, which is when all the brutal things happen to you as a kid. So, I mean, I was 12. Yeah, that's a kid. So basically, on the first day of year 7, it was bucketing down rain. And of course, that's the day where they give you all your goddamn textbooks and they make you fill up your bag with it. So I had my really big bag on me, and I looked like a turtle because I had filled it up with so many textbooks. And obviously, bell rings, it's raining. I'm sprinting across this thing called Flynn Bridge, which was just like a bridge at my high school. I'm running, sprinting for my life. Keep in mind, Flynn Bridge is the bridge to like the senior area of the school, so all like the big scary kids are coming across that bridge at the same time as you. So I'm running and I can feel myself start to topple to one side, but I pick myself back up and I'm fine, balance myself over, keep running, everything's cool, make my way, running. I start to topple even more. I couldn't pull myself back up and I just end up stacking it on the pathway in front of everyone at the busiest time of the day, which was when everyone was running to their buses. And I'm just laying there on the floor. To make it even worse, I fell down and my bag was so heavy that it crushed me. So I couldn't even get back up, and my dress flew up a bit when it happened. So just like the embarrassment level is just like off the scale. And you know what? Every goddamn time I tell people this story, they all say that they were there. Can I just tell you? Nobody helped me up. One girl laughed and handed me my hat, and that was it. Like, everyone saw it happen, but it was just so embarrassing. They were like, oh, bloody hell, leave her behind. Like, this is awful. Once again, younger sibling, I got locked out of the room where my sister and my older cousins were like, oh, you know what, my older cousin was painting like her nails. Keep this in mind, my sister, well, back then had like kind of like a weak stomach to like strong smells or whatever, I don't know. And they weren't letting me in the room, and so I just kept like shaking on the doorknob, trying to get in, that kind of thing, you know, just like annoying cousin stuff. And I just like kind of felt a bit of the doorknob just kind of come off, and I was like, sounds like a problem for another day. And I just walked away from it. And then they go to get out and the door's jammed and they can't get out. They're yelling. And my auntie straight up thinks that they're lying, and she's like, all right, girls, quit joking around, playtime's over, whatever. And they're like, no, seriously, we can't get out. My sister's planning on jumping out of the window of the 2-story house onto the car because she hates the smell so much and she wants to get out. And I'm like, that's so weird. I wonder how they got locked in there. Oh wait, it was because I goddamn broke the doorknob and didn't say anything. I did show and tell, and my show and tell was me wearing an Irish dancing wig. If you don't know what the wigs look like, I'll insert a picture here. And I just wore it with a white fur coat. You know when you just like think back to dumb things you did? Not just like, oh, you know, like that's embarrassing, why would I have done that? But literally it's like, geez, just use half a brain cell and you know this wouldn't have worked out. This is one of those stories. So basically, my lunchbox, packing it of the morning, and I'd left some food in there from a couple of days ago. So I'd left something in there, my lunchbox stunk. So I was like, oh, what do you do if something smells? Spray deodorant on it. So I instead, like a normal sensible person would be like, I don't know, chuck it in the dishwasher or just wash it with your hands. Like maybe get a new lunchbox, just like anything but that, jeez. But no, I decided, yep, just gonna get some spray deodorant. I'll just spray my lunchbox. It'll clear the smell right up. Yeah, obviously didn't work. Keep in mind, like, this combo could not have been worse. The sandwich that I was eating was a cheese spread sandwich. I don't even know if they still do cheese spread. It used to be the Dick Smith one. Does Dick Smith even make spreads anymore? I don't think so. Yeah, I just took a bite into it and immediately it tasted like deodorant, and like I was just eating a deodorant sandwich. Like, that was it. And I had to spit it out because it was so disgusting. My friends were like, yo, what are you doing? Yeah, don't know, just sprayed my lunchbox with deodorant. Gotta spit it out now. Also, how did I not die? How many chemicals are in an aerosol can? And I'm just ingesting a sandwich version of it. And that was like when I was in year 4. Like, I was 10. I should have had the brains for that. But then at the same time, it's like, I didn't have the brains for it. But when I was in year 10, that was prime time for Bella doing magic tricks. So it's like, yeah, common sense, no. Sleight of hand, yes. So I've just been painting for a little bit, and I mean, it looks like this. It's nothing special, but you know, the whole purpose of my repurposing videos is kind of just like, look, if you're gonna throw it out, why not try and make it into something before you do? And so I guess this is my way of doing that. I mean, it's not that good. I'm not a really good painter, so this is as good as it's gonna get, especially because it's on fabric. It is a bit harder to do, but what are you gonna do? Not too bad, not too shabby. Thank you everyone for watching. Sorry you didn't get to see much of my face, but to be honest, I saved you. Yes, I hope you tune in next week as well, and also I'll link my SoundCloud down below. No, I'm not releasing rap music, but I do have a podcast, just a short, like 2-minute, same sort of things, talking about repurposing, recycling, that sort of thing. I did put one up, I think last week, just about grocery bags and how to get the best out of them. So if you want to check that out, I will link it down below. If not, check out my last video that was on making a plant hanger out of grocery bags, because that one actually turned out not too shabby. You know what, if I do say so myself. But with that said, thank you everyone for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.